Alright, I do believe that it's about time that we get started.
Like talking about wisdom teeth?
Yeah,
We've been doing that.
welcome to the stream if you are here.
Yeah, you're a
If
little
not here,
late.
you are still welcome, as always. Today is a wonderful Wednesday, one in which we're coming back to the sake of Behdmeten, Draw Steel. Unfortunately could not do Draw Steel last week. We've actually spent the past 16 minutes talking about exactly why in great detail, uh, with both Beetle and Rise talking about pain that I apparently never felt when my teeth were removed.
Nor mine.
So, sorry.
What's it like to be God's favorite?
I don't know, am I God's favorite? That extended to the rest
More
of
so
my
than me,
family.
apparently.
But we're going to pick up roughly off a general recap. You all last time walked into a small village, and upon interrupting an auction, a fight broke out. One that you all swiftly decided you were not going to engage with, and instead you picked up the item and booked it so fucking fast that I think only one of you even took damage.
That's because I
And that
ran too
was
close to
from-
somebody.
Yeah, that was an attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. But after asking around the town a little bit, you determined that
Hi.
there
Hi.
is a chance that you can talk this out between them. And after split to get their sides of the story, both groups were able to convince them to at least give peace a try. How you all proceed from here is ultimately up to you. Both groups having a pair of them waiting at the edge of their respective areas as you all meet back up. I am assuming that you all are trying to stay out of the village for now because you don't want to provoke anything, but that's entirely up to you as to where you all want to meet, because I'm sure that you all have a little bit of information to share and a plan to talk through.
Maybe in the road in front of the village would be the best spot. Or would that be too close?
Might be a bit too close.
Hmm.
If another fight breaks out, I don't want to catch the village in it.
Hear me
Yeah, you
out.
got a point.
What if we make a deal with both of them individually? We take rights for their land from both sides, thus displacing them completely and having to unite themselves against the common enemy. So then we get rid of this blood feud forever.
I don't know that that really works in terms of recruiting one of them to our cause.
We would
think
recruit both against a cause.
But that causes us.
Or it could
We
completely
tell them
backfire.
we're doing all of this in the name of our precious villain.
Or
They don't
we
need to
just-
know that we're heroes.
So anyway, yeah, I see where we
Yeah.
need a little bit further.
away than than the road in front of the village.
All right.
Okay.
In that case, then, your group gathers just a little bit outside of the village, far enough that if something breaks out, the village ideally will not be caught in the mix. Um, at least for right now, until you tell me otherwise, the individuals that are going to partaking in this meeting are still staying behind. So, does anybody need any reminders of the two sides, like and what they have talked about, their perspectives on it, or does everybody kind of have a general understanding?
I have a general understanding. Give me a cliff notes real quick, just so I make sure I know exactly.
All right. So the cliff notes, um, the Woad Elves, um, their interactions with Shadow Elves in the past have not been great. A lot of Shadow Elves that they have run across, the vast majority of Shadow Elves that they've run across, are doing what most Shadow Elves seem to be trying to accomplish, at least in the general idea, is turning Orden into their new home. But unfortunately, they're not the kind of individuals that just come in and, you know, set up a camp usually. They're the kind that blot out the sun because they don't like the sun, and that thus kind of creates an eternal shadow which they are more familiar with. They believe that by fighting against the Shadow Elves here, they are keeping them at bay. They may not be able to take them out completely, but they are keeping them from accomplishing their goals. Shadow Elves, for their part, claim that they have no interest in transforming Orden. The bubble that they have created, the small zone that they have made, is simply so that they have a place that they can go back to and roam somewhat freely. They have been peaceful with the villagers, just like the Woad Elves, but despite their efforts, um, the every action that they take seems to be further confirmation for the Woad Elves that they are the villains of this story, and they believe that the Woad Elves just refuse to see reason, no matter how many times that they have tried to express that they are not the bad guy. Ultimately, it's clear that neither side is normally willing to listen to one. Hopefully, you all will be
So just to be
something
sure,
to
under
change.
normal circumstances, Shadow Elves will attempt to just take over Orden. Or yeah.
Some will.
Okay. Okay.
Not all, but
So it's more like a stereotype that they'll attempt to do that.
kind of. There are a
Okay.
lot of like the Shadow Elves that are
I can go
under
into the lore
their.
if you want. I know some of the lore.
Oh.
If you want to give a brief thing of that,
Cliff notes.
that's
So
up to you.
basically,
But
Shadow Elves come from a dying world, and most interactions in this world with Shadow Elves, since they are not natives of this plane, come from specialized Shadow Elf intrusions
Which is
that.
what they're creating, right?
No, not these
No.
guys. These guys
Okay.
are
Okay.
just refugees
Mm.
as far as we know, as far as they are saying anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but most people's interactions with Shadow Elves are only these specialized groups that are trying to basically anchor Orden to their realm
Okay.
and make it like that. But that doesn't mean that all Shadow Elves are the same. Usually, Drawsteel doesn't truck in sort of ancestral determinism in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So just because that's most people's interactions with Shadow Elves doesn't mean that's what they're actually all about. It's just the ones that most people have actually seen are about that.
Mhm.
And likewise, these woad elves are under the same impression, essentially.
I just got to make sure I know what side I'm arguing.
Well, I'm hoping we'll be able to argue for both sides effectively.
Preferably
I would
neither
like
side
to.
and just try and find common ground.
I mean, more or less, yeah. Just try to find common ground rather than supporting one side over another,
Mhm.
is what we're hoping to do.
Yes,
I don't think it'll be easy, but we'll give it a try.
of course.
And just to make sure that that it is not forgotten, you do not have to utilize it. But as I had mentioned before, the item that you
Oh, I got
had,
plans for that.
I just want to make sure that it's put out there that the item that you had acquired before, that they were having at auction, clearly they wanted it for one reason or another. If you really need to, there is always the option to try to use it as a bargaining. Um, this is completely up to you, and we'll see how it plays out when and if you do it. But especially since it has not been used by any of you and it's not equipped to any of you currently, I will say it's still on the table.
Okay.
Well, do you all have an idea of how you're
Mhm.
actually wanting to approach this?
I think so.
Then it will be assumed that all information has been shared equally among you. So, no matter which side you went to, you all shared your side of it to the best of your ability, so that there's no confusion between them. You can, of course, still be partial to a side, but that's on you. You get the others to join you outside of the town at your meeting spot, having determined that this is a good enough spot, taking time to scout it out to make sure that there's nothing that you would have missed about the area that could cause potential problems. Both of the groups come together, and among them you have two woad elves. One that appears to be wearing a long cloak, um, and you would recognize them as being probably like one of the spellcasters from the previous battle.
Spellcasters. They cast spells?
Yeah, some of them did. Some of them tried.
I don't
Yeah.
remember a spell being cast.
Yeah, I don't remember one being cast.
They tried.
But continue. They
We all try.
As well as a Wold Elf sentry, um, who appears to, well, who you might remember as the one that, I believe that they did actually try to attack a Shadow Elf, before.
That I remember happening.
Mhm.
They couldn't have sent a different one that didn't try to attack the Shadow Elves before. Oh well, I'm sure it won't be a problem.
We'll be fine.
And as for the Shadow Elves themselves, they both of them are wearing a pretty thick cloak over themselves, trying to encase themselves in shadow, which does block a lot of their features. But looking at them, you can still see their faces still split in half, one side light and one side dark. Even with the cloak on, it's apparent to the people that went over there that they do in fact become far more washed out when outside of their proper shadow area. As they meet, they share a look of unease. All of them do have their weapons, though they do remain sheathed. The Woad Elf Druid spellcaster speaks up first, giving a light cough. So, what are you all hoping to accomplish here? We've tried talking to her, and it hasn't gone well. I'm glad that you all have come to join us. But I am also glad that we brought our weapons. I see that you brought your own. You must not think that this is going to go well.
If everything
That doesn't
goes
seem
well.
very fair, considering you brought weapons as well.
The one of the Shadow Elves speaks up as well. Says, as a reminder, you also were the ones to strike at us first. We bring ours in potential defense. We have very little trust for you all, as last time we tried to negotiate, threw your weapons on us.
Can the siblings get closer? Celis with one of them, and Acro with the other, extending their hands. Weapons, please. We're here to negotiate. If you feel that you need to protect yourself, and you both felt the need to protect yourself, you both can also surrender your weapons in the search for peace. Now, you will get your weapons back after the talks.
So just to make sure, you are asking for them to give you their weapons.
Yes.
Okay. Both groups look at you and seem to hesitate. One of the Shadow Elves speaks up and says, I apologize. But no. It is not that I don't trust you all to protect us, as you have claimed that you would do. It is that I do not trust them. Continue these negotiations as is.
I thought we were adults, not children looking to strike the other.
We thought that they were too.
You say that, yet you are here brandishing your own weapons with the excuse of self-defense. Not excusing either side, but you are trying to make an argument for yourself. When you're just as much at fault.
I do not
We
blame
just
you
want a
for-
place to.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I do not blame you for wanting to keep your weapons close to you, but we are here to protect you and them for these negotiations.
We promise to keep our weapons sheathed so long as they are not drawn against us.
Then
I
that
would
is
hope that the
satisfactory for
Woad
me.
elves would make the same commitment. The druid does give a slight nod while maintaining eye contact, as we can make that agreement.
As long as
Those-
it upheld, it is fine.
Right. The stage is set. And we are going to be doing something a little different. We're going to be trying a double negotiation. Now, this is going to work very similarly to a normal negotiation. Both groups are going to have a main person that is effectively speaking for them. And as you are going through the negotiation, you will tell me whether you are trying to appeal to the Woad Elves or the Shadow Elves. And your goal, because this is going to be very difficult to do, is going to be getting a yes and from both of them. One of the big reasons why this is difficult is because both of these groups are not coming into this on neutral ground. Both are going to be starting suspicious. What this means for you is that they are starting with an interest of 2 and a patience of 2. There are ways that you can get around this, but to make sure that everybody's on the same page, if patience reaches 0, they are making their final offer and they are out. Interest needs to be at 5 for both. You can still, if like one of them just is falling apart, you can make a plea to the other side to try to make sure that you at least secure them on your side. Finally, throughout this negotiation, if you manage to find a motivation that you think both of them share, I will allow you to attempt to invoke that motivation for both parties, allowing you to use a single roll to affect both equally. This can be very good for making sure that you can really pump into a single, stab argument that just pierces through both. Just understand that if you are wrong, your roll will remain the same, but the results may vary. Does anybody have questions?
I do not think I have right now.
Okay. In that case, then. And I think, who do you wish to appeal to first? Or what do you wish to start with?
Well, I think I'll begin. First things first, as a show of good faith to all involved, I think it is only right that we take this, and I pull out the Divine Vine
Both of their
as
all of their eyes dart to it.
yes, I'm sure you're quite happy about this. As this is an artifact of the Woad, I think it's only right that it be returned to the Woad and not used against our friends here, as I pointedly look over to the Shadow Elves, who will in turn graciously allow it returned to its rightful place.
They
And I walk over
don't
to
seem happy about it, but they do give the main one that's been talking for the Shadow Elves does give a slight nod. The druid takes it and gives a light bow. Thank you for understanding that this is in fact an artifact of the world. We greatly appreciate turning it to. It's always our intention to reclaim it for the Woad before the Shadow Elves decided that they wanted it instead.
That's enough. That's that. Your gratitude has been noted. Don't need more than that. Thank you.
Yeah, he puts it into a small pouch on his hip and says, "You're right. I apologize. Continue."
Now we've got that business out of the way. Oh. First things first. Just so that we know we're on the same page, and I turn over to the Shadow Elves. You are not, as I understand it, planning an incursion into Orden to begin forming it into your home manifold of Equinox. Yes?
That is correct. We have no intention of turning your world into ours. We just want a place to live. We want to be left alone.
And on
Which,
that, I think we can...
also just to make sure that that we have this here as well, I did find something that may be to others that are going to engage in this negotiation. What I have sent in the Draw Steel chat is a cheat sheet that I found. On this cheat sheet, it tells you all the different things that are involved with this, how you can potentially make an argument, and the different ways that motivation stuff appeal. At the very bottom, very importantly though, it does also tell you all of the motivations and a brief thing telling you what it means if it is their motivation. If you want to know what a pitfall would be, just simply whatever it is, they don't believe in that. So, for example, freedom at the bottom desires no authority above them. If that is a pitfall, they do not believe that. They believe that authority is correct, and without it, there is no structure. That kind of thing. So, continue on.
look over at the Wood Elves, and I'm going to say, I'm sure that you, of all groups in this land, can understand the desire to find a place of your own and to live there unbothered. Yes?
We can understand that. Yes. Though, what our concerns are go beyond just being left alone. Those that would do wrong to our home, not just the Woad, but all of Orden, need to be brought down and kept in check. If we are wrong,
This,
we stand to lose so much.
and yet, if you persecute an innocent group of people, not only are you wasting time that could be spent fighting the real enemies that threaten us all, but you potentially alienate a very important ally in such a fight. Which is my first argument.
Okay? Which motivation are you trying to appeal to?
For this one, I'm trying to go for protection, basically selling them on the fact that the Shadow Elves are not a threat. These Shadow Elves, anyway, are not a threat. And in fact, in the future, and I might throw in something like this even though I didn't roleplay it, these particular ones, if they're able to be brought on side for defending Orden, could be very crucial to help against, say, a Shadow Elf incursion where they are trying to hurt Orden.
Okay?
These could
And
be
just to make sure that I am clear on this as well, you did talk with both. Are you trying to appeal to both or just the Woad Elf currently?
right now just the Woad Elves.
Okay. In that
I
case,
don't
then,
really. I mean I think I suspect that protection is probably a motivation for both of them, but for this one, I'm just doing the Woad Elves since I don't really see how this argument would necessarily apply to them both. Although, I could make an argument if I kind of sell them both on the allyship of how much safer they'll be working together, actually. Yeah, fuck it, I will do it. I was gonna say I'm not doing it because I couldn't think of a way, but then I just thought of a way, so I am gonna do it.
alright. So you are trying to appeal to protection for both. Okay.
Yes, basically, if you work together, you will both be safer and be able to call on each other for protection from greater threats, which are not only very much on the horizon, but also further afield, potentially.
You know what? I think that is a fantastic argument. And one that is going to give both of them pause. I would still like you to make a roll, but know that no matter what you roll, I'm going to say that this is going to be a tier 3 result. Not that they haven't thought about this before, but you are putting it very much into perspective that there are bigger issues at hand than whatever scuffle they have. So they are at least willing to listen to.
Alright, and just for fun, I think I'm going to throw in my strategy skill for this one.
Go for it.
Feels like getting allies for future fights might be relevant here. Hey, look at that.
All right. Hey, I will tell you, yes, protection was a motivation for both. Both of them kind of give a slight nod, and the Shadow Elf speaks up first, saying, "You're right. We do not wish to harm the Woad. Truly, we don't. Not wish to harm any of it. And it is true that if we can find common ground, then both of us, both of our people, be better off. Doing this feud only fuel more chaos and hurt more of our own." The Woad Elf responds with, "You're not wrong. Let's..." You're all asking us to still take a risky bet.
Can I do a quick flashback sequence? I have a suspicion.
Sure.
Alright, as the two sets of elves are kind of getting settled, I want to kind of peel off to Shiver. Because I believe something was mentioned last time about some bread breakers regalia that was seen on these Woad Elves, and now that I know they've been with the Shadow Elves, so this will be their first time to actually see the Woad Elves up close for an extended period of time. And I'm curious if they can maybe follow up on that.
Okay. So, in that case, then, Shiver. Peregrine was wanting to know a little bit more about the Breadbreakers Guild. And as was in fact mentioned before, you more up close now do see the regalia that was talked about. You recognize it as the regalia of the Breadbreakers, but you do not recognize these Woad Elves. Your understanding that, well, that a lot of the Breadbreakers Guild is smaller patches that have kind of spread throughout the greater Woad and different patches of the Woad that are independent of the one that you yourself grew up in. As a lot of different areas have their own plights, and the Breadbreakers Guild kind of works to help with whatever the people that fall through the cracks need. These ones may have a very similar goal, but may not have faced the same issues that you personally did. The way that they talk, though, clearly they share a similar sense of, like, wanting to do the right thing as quickly as they can, even if they aren't asked to do so. It's actually very possible that they see this as a means to protect their own, kind of as an extension of that protection motivation. But they are going further. They're not just defending, they're actively going on the attack. Do you have any thoughts when it comes to the Breadbreakers Guild and how they may be sharing in your plight, or do you have anything to say to them in that regard?
Is definitely an interesting consideration. For a group of oppressed individuals in the business of some form of self-liberation, it is deeply disappointing to me that it should be at the expense of others.
Are you voicing this out loud to just Peregrine or to the group as a whole?
Side note to Peregrine, at least for the moment, since they did ask.
Well, if you do share a creed, perhaps you can talk some sense into them once the discussions begin.
Perhaps.
In the meantime, what are you thinking, Oriamus? You talked to the Shadow Elves.
As you were with me.
Yes. They simply want a place safe that they can call home, and I understand wanting the safety in that. Maybe there could be some sort of chart that they are able to split areas nearby where both are happy with how everything is divided. But that could lead to further complications later if they are unhappy.
With them wanting to be left alone, you think that would be a peace motivation?
Once everything has been drawn, they would be left alone in their, area that is drawn out.
Okay. Does anybody else want to make another push at a potential motivation, or potentially discuss this more directly with one of the group. If anybody else has anything to say, like, Peregrine doesn't have to be the sole person making argument.
I honestly wouldn't know what to say.
What's on your mind?
We almost out there sounding like Sigurd.
Mm.
Hmm.
Oh, pardon me. I was lost in thought. Usually, most of my problems could be solved with the clash of steel, but these people have been through enough, and steel will solve nothing here.
Well, you did state that there was, like, you at least had a general idea of an idea of something that might solve the problem. Um, and you did mention that you do believe that the Shadow Elves are looking some sort of calm, which would fall under peace. Do you have an argument that you wish to make to them, or would you prefer that somebody else said something in that regard?
See, I wouldn't be sure if it's just peace or if they want, freedom, like space to not have to worry, places where they could live comfortably, the freedom in their shadow,
I mean, it's
Well, that's the
possible.
trick,
You
isn't it?
can talk with them, or you can, if you wish, it's potentially risky, but you can try to uncover their other motivation, like kind of poke at that. That would be a roll that, as so long as you don't roll a tier 1, you don't lose anything, but if you roll a tier 3, you can get some more information out of them. And this is independent of roleplay. Or you can just try to roleplay out the conversation, see if you can narrow in on what they're actually wanting.
And if I was to roleplay the conversation, does that also have the chance to remove patience?
No. Short
Not
of
until you make a roll.
Yeah, like, I can technically make a call if you outright insult them that they
Yes.
might grow impatient, but so long as you're just, like, having a conversation with them, patience and interest do not change until you actually try to invoke a motivation.
I think I would like that, yeah. Give me a little bit more information to work with.
Alright.
So I
In that
will
case,
go to the Shadow Elves and... So... I know you are hoping to have some space of your own, but you said you've discussed this before, and what have you asked the Woad Elves to do?
it was long ago, but we simply were trying to inform them of our presence and make it clear what our intentions were. Simply finding a place to live. Kind enough to give us a space that they had determined would not impede the village itself. Why we've been able to maintain good relations with them. We do not want to fight. We fight to defend ourselves.
Of course. So you had already came to the agreement with the village before the Woad Elves had begun to provide resistance to your presence?
Yes. When we first arrived, the villagers were skeptical, of course, which we understand, but they were kind. Very kind. And it wasn't until the Woad Elves started striking out against us, forcing our hand, that our interactions with the village have been more suspicious, at least to them.
And
Fortunately, when you
since
have a
you're
blade constantly waving above you, people around are less likely to enjoy your company.
and since your first attempt at negotiation has negotiations attempted to be made after that?
Just to make sure I understand the question, are you asking if
What
they have
they
tried to negotiate
again? Yes.
When it first started, we tried to say our piece, but we believe that they had already made up their minds about our intentions.
I see.
And like I had told you before, any perceived expansion of our bubble has simply been because our people grow. Not by
Yes.
much, but our people do grow. As the Woad grows to protect its own, our shadow will also grow to protect us. We were hoping that we would be able to get away from all of the espionage trying to anchor the place. We just hoping we were done and just be allowed to live. But some luxuries are apparently beyond us.
I do not think they are beyond you, just they need some working with those around to get them. But I appreciate the information.
Now, when it comes to role-playing out a thing, I'm not going to confirm or deny any
Of course.
motivations or pitfalls, but would you like to make an argument now that you have gotten to talk with them?
Yeah, I'm just reading over argument to make sure I know exactly what I'm gonna roll for here.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I'll make a roll.
All right.
So they are. They do not want any trouble with either the villagers or the woad. But because of. This is just an assumption. The woads attempt to protect the authority of the woad elves. They don't like it that the shadow elves are encroaching upon their woad. But the shadow elves are simply wanting peace in the woad.
So, are you wanting to appeal to
Roll
peace?
appealing towards peace for the shadow elves.
Okay. In that case, then, do you wish to say anything specific, or do you just want to see how the roll turns out? It's fine either way.
So I just address them both and just say, so if
Now, I will say what maybe a
Oh,
motivation for one might be a pitfall for the other.
yes, that is the concern.
Yes. I mean, you can still address
Mm.
both and say that you are only trying to appeal to one. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
going to force you to appeal to both just because you're talking to both.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Just reading over everything. Make sure I know exactly what I'm wanting. Yeah, okay. So all the shadow elves want to do is live in peace in a agreed area, leaving enough room for them to live comfortably with their family and kin. They do not wish for trouble from the villagers or the woad. They want to coexist with everybody. Is what I'm understanding.
Go ahead and give me a roll if you have a skill that you think would apply to this. Feel free to say so.
Hmm. Mm. Yeah, I don't think any skill I have would be applicable towards negotiation. Only thing
mean,
I
there's
have is. Hmm. I mean, I've got commanding presence, but that gives everybody an extra 2 renown.
okay. Unfortunately, I would say
I mean,
that neither of these
everybody would.
groups would know you.
Yeah.
So renown would not play into this. But you could always still stretch something if you wanted to. There are a lot of different things that could still apply to a negotiation even if they don't seem like they normally would.
Mm-hmm.
Bet if you offered
So,
to draw up the maps yourself, you could make an argument for lead.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be leading the sort of
Or
settlement
strategizing
project.
what areas would be correct for a settlement.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Remember, the worst thing the DM can say is no. So it's in your
Yeah.
best interest, even if it feels like it's way out there.
Okay.
Just say it.
Yeah. Yeah, always feel free to stretch it. Like, I'm not gonna penalize you for trying.
Yeah. I was also looking at the roller. I was looking at like features and equipment. I'm like, I don't think I could apply like stand tougher doomsday. I was reading too far into it.
I apply my melee superiority.
I am
Well, now-
superior here.
Funny enough, I don't think it would work in this situation, but in some situations, you
Oh,
very
yeah.
much could.
I didn't even realize commanding presence. We could try to, make combats go into negotiations. Get double edge on that in the future.
It is possible. Like, not every enemy is going to be willing to listen to you, but
Yeah, this
Mhm.
one would have been a great group to try that on, but we absolutely blew that fucking combat up.
So
Keep going. I'm gonna be right back.
okay. So I would just click reason, right? Apply. I want to do strategy. And just roll.
yep.
Did I still say that's, applying to the reason? Okay, could be better.
All right, that's a tier 2 result. Like you said, it could be better. Like, you do have hero tokens if you wish to retry, but a tier 2 result is still usually pretty good. If
Good.
if you think that this is in fact a motivation.
Yeah.
Right. In that case, then, if we're locking that in, the Shadow Elf, following up on your idea, does yes, peace. That is an appropriate word for what we seek. We don't want fighting. We want to live.
You've been
Good.
very diplomatic about talking to everybody in the area about knowing that you're here to coexist with them, not to pick up arms.
Make no mistake. We know what our people are capable of, and we know what our people have done to Orden. Why we made our presence known. If we truly wished to take Orden for ourselves, we wouldn't be coming to some random village and trading with them. But I'm sorry. I know that this isn't helping the patients. It's my patience bears thin. If they are going to, if they're willing to see reason, we may as well, but not heard any kind of agreements from the Woad Elves as of yet. We can't leave within some sort of agreement, then we'll be at an impasse.
Mm-hmm. We still have time to come to an agreement for everything.
I will say that was in fact their other motivation, peace.
Yep.
But they, with a tier 2 result, that did lower their patience by 1.
So they have
in
one
this
more
case,
patience.
they have 1 more patience. So whatever argument you make next, so long as it raises their interest by 1, it's fine. But you cannot appeal to either of the motivations again. So just make sure that you are not hitting a pitfall.
Yep.
Um,
And the Wodovs still have 2 patients because we have not appealed to their
they still have 2
arguments yet.
patients. Yeah,
Mhm.
because they had 2 patients because a token was given to the treasure was given
Yeah.
to them, which did raise
Okay,
their
yeah.
interest. And an appeal was actually made to them, but it was a tier 3 result, so their patience
Does
did
not
not go
lower.
down.
Mhm.
But as it stands, just for full transparency, both of them are at 4 interests, so you're actually pretty close. But it only
We need to
takes
get to
1
6.
bad argument.
Right?
No, you need to get to 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just understand that at
Hmm.
this point there is no room for error when it comes to Shadow Elves.
Zealous, do you have anything to add?
I don't got anything. I'm not gonna be the one to fuck this up.
We are discussing it between each other. We're not asking them yet.
No, I got nothing.
Hmm.
I'm not about to ruin the fucking negotiations when there's like they both seem to want to fucking just tear each other's throats out.
Hmm.
Like I got nothing.
As tensions raise, you do hear a bunch of noise coming from the village.
Hmm.
Sounds like the villagers are doing something that is just making a lot of noise at this point. What's going on? You can't say. The negotiation continues. Who wishes to speak up next, or what other actions do you wish to take?
It might be best for us to secure negotiations with the Woad Elves since they have patience to, work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, does anybody wish, or does anybody have an argument in mind? Have you thought of anything that you might want to say to them? Something that you might want to uncover?
Mm-hmm.
Not that though. That was.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I agree. Uh-huh.
I mean, beyond talking to them, what with the, you know, common ground that I have with them and how. Other than maybe that, I don't have anything. But I would be willing to do that, maybe.
I don't have anything, but I'd be willing to do that.
Whoa.
Epiphany?
No. Gizmo just jogged back into the room and it startled me.
Hello, I'm here. Did you
I
use
will
Welcome
a
back.
hero token to re-roll that to try to get a tier 3 result yet?
Oh,
No.
no.
He stayed with the tier 2, but it was in fact the motivation. So, the Shadow Elf's interest is at 4, and their patience is at 1.
Oh, fuck off. Okay. That's not to anybody, by the way. I've just been saying fuck off a lot lately. I
Fuck off.
realized that in this context, it might offend some people, because normally I'm like playing a game or something, or doing something at work, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's fine. That's actually fine, because if it's at 4-1, it means we can get them up to
We just
5-0,
without.
and we can do it.
Yeah.
Are we having Shiver talk to the Wood Elves now?
I was
That's
actually, I was
more or
asking,
less what was about to happen. Yeah.
yeah, I was just asking Shiver if they wish to like appeal to anything or talk with them at all.
I
Now,
so-
I can talk with them. I don't know that
Because
I want to.
I keep
Ew.
looking at like higher authority. The Woad Elves, you know, they
Yeah,
are
that's
loyal to a T to the Woad. Yes,
Well, the Woad is not an authority.
it's not an authority, but it's a
And in
a
fact,
force.
knowing what I know about the Breadbreakers Guild, and knowing that Shiver is from that, perhaps a different cell of the Breadbreakers Guild, I would be very careful appealing to higher authority around these guys.
Mm.
I did also think about higher authority in terms of a force, which might be taking things a bit more laterally than necessarily
Love wavelength.
intended.
and
Mm-hmm. We need to play more Wavelength. That was actually I do. I just
Hell
really
yeah,
like
dude.
Wavelength.
well,
Hell yeah, dude.
But like, I don't know, like a force of justice, which is also like right there. So
Yeah.
you know, I could see how it might be stretching it a bit.
Yeah, I think when it says force, it means like
A god or what have you, sort of.
a god, or like an institution.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think wanting to take care of the Woad really qualifies as higher authority there.
Mm.
I do think that there might be an appeal to justice there, though.
You can always chat them up for a little bit, see what kind of vibes
Well,
you get.
yeah, that's what I've been suggesting.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
go for it. And actually, before you start chatting with them, something I haven't asked you: do you still wear any indicators of you being part of the Breadbreakers Guild? Still have any kind of markers or regalia on you?
Um, I don't wear anything that would mark me externally, but believe it or not, I do have a bit of a sentimental streak to me, so I do carry with me a certain medallion.
Okay.
But no, in general, I don't know what the fuck they're doing running around in uniforms. Like this is why your secret society is getting captured.
Okay.
You
To be
fucking
This is
clear,
why I
idiots.
had to leave.
Yeah.
to be clear, it's not like a full-on uniform. Like, it's similar to like the symbol that you would have on like a medallion. It is just a marking that they have, like either on a chest
It's a
piece
telling
or an
swatch
arm.
of black fabric.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
just something that they
They
can put
tuck their
themselves out
pants into
proud.
their socks. We
Yeah, it's
get
like having white shoelaces.
it. Yes. But no, but yes, I do at least bear a symbol. But unless anyone else asks you for that information, in which case no, I do not. And I bought this at a pawn shop, and you can't make me say shit.
Pawn shop.
It's one of those criminal underworld things.
I wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
It is in fact a criminal underworld thing. Yes.
What do you wish to say?
So I'm talking to my brethren, the Woad Elves. Of course, yes, it's been established. Big surprise. I I walk up to them and I say, "Hello, brethren. I like your shoelaces." Winks.
They they look a little confused at first before uh before kind of correcting themselves and saying, "Yes, the Woad Elf, we appreciate you attempting to bring us together. I know that you're not of our Woad, and this is a problem that you should not be having to deal with." They
Yes, so
they take a moment to kind of look at you a bit closer. You swear I've seen your face somewhere.
yes, I'm sure it's appeared on at least one wanted poster that you've seen, especially ones that you would be wise to pay attention to. This is not my woad. Yes, it's I come from a bit further off, but nonetheless, shall we say that you and I are of the same spirit. And this did cause me to have to leave my neck of the woods, as they say, and appear before you here now. It's not precisely my issue, except for where injustice pertains. And it does seem like there is injustice being done here.
He uh he takes a moment and like, yes. Oh, I I understand. I'm sorry that I didn't recognize you sooner. My apologies.
No,
I
none to be apologied for. I'm sorry you recognize me at all. I need to get better at this shit, apparently.
well, we you say that there is an injustice. I apologize. We do not mean to form any injustices if that's what you are implying.
Well, not always necessarily on the part of one or the other. I can understand, shall we say, uh, insecurity with regards to housing. You know, once upon a time in a former life, in a former world, this was the sort of thing that I fought against myself.
Well, do not we do not seek to uh, sorry, I've struggled to find the words because when you put it out in the open it does sound wrong, but we don't necessarily seek to deny them a home. We have no intention of denying them there. But we we also do not want to give them any means to deny us our home. We have fought hard to protect the woad that protects us. And it's a risk that we could not take. When we first spoke to them, they used they said much the same, but they seemed accusatory, like they were pushing back against us even trying to ask why they were here. It's what put us on edge in the first place. Have we've seen many places be attacked by shadow elves just like themselves, and people's better will used against them. If they wish to have a space, they already have their entire world, do they not? Why do they need ours?
Is an understandable concern that you have, and I hope that that is a question that you have directed at them personally.
We have, but they were unwilling to even talk with us in regards to their intentions past what they, at least a little bit of what they have told you. They pushed back against us. They made it clear that they wanted to be left alone. I'll admit was reinterpreted poorly as them hiding something, hiding their intentions. But perhaps
This is also understandable. They were quite cold to me the first time that I spoke with them as well. But people under any kind of hardship can be a bit paranoid, shall we say then. For instance, it's frightening sometimes when randos compliment your shoelaces.
yes, it is. The same way that somebody tells you to stay safe when you say that you're going to the bathroom. Like there's some inherent danger.
Yes, the bathroom beasts. We had those in my woad as well. I understand your plights, brethren. But I also understand that do you not at your core have a desire to share that which you have with others? To give peace and hope where there is none?
Don't get me wrong, we do. Part of our core is trying to share in whatever bounty we claim with others in need. But it's hard to ignore what they could do. Why we are so hesitant. And when we perceived ill intentions, we simply thought it would be best to strike while we could. Because if you allow those kinds of things to take root, they will grow, and they will grow quickly. If there is any injustice, it would be what their people have done to Orden in the past. Perhaps not these ones, but again, understand that they have shown what they are capable of before.
Oh.
We do not wish to see that again.
And this too is an understandable position to take. I can't necessarily always say that I agree with you, brothers, but I certainly do understand you.
Well, now that you've spoken with them, do you wish to make any kind of argument, appeal to any motivation?
Boy, would I!
Would I?
Oh, golly. You gonna let me do that? You gonna let me appeal to a motivation?
I don't fucking
Ow!
know. I don't know. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Humana.
Have we have have they have we had
Yes.
have what's happened with them, Shogar?
What happened?
So far, I gave them the Divine Vine.
And then this was for the Wodovs, them
Yes.
specifically. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Because the divine vine belongs to the woad.
All right. I mean, yes.
And I
Yes.
can't remember if it was said what that did exactly, but nothing
Uh,
bad.
While you were gone, I specified that it increased their interest without bringing down their patience.
Okay, so
And because you got a tier 3 result,
they're at 3-2.
that's another interest.
But there's not been like an argument
they do
made
have
with
4-2.
them.
I did an argument to
Protection.
both of them,
Oh, right.
with
Protection has been
protection.
cut. Okay.
which means basically one good argument appealing to their motivation, and they're in.
Right. I've debated. I'm leaning towards an argument for justice.
I would say either justice or I could potentially see benevolence.
That also, I was kind of fishing for that a little bit. Like, yeah.
But hey, they're your organization, or were, so you would know them more than I would.
You'd think. Well, that's why initially I had thought to appeal to their
They're just ice.
benevolence, actually,
Ah.
which I kind of tried to test in the conversation. And I mean, it didn't go poorly.
I mean,
They did confirm that that's
they haven't
part of their
lost
deal.
any patients, so you could always try
Test the
to
water.
uncover their motivation. You got the cheat sheet up that was sent in Discord?
Yeah, I'm staring at it. Have been for some time now.
I can
Oh,
only
me too,
imagine.
me too.
Kind of right above the motivations on the right column, there's a test for uncovering motivations. You only get information on a tier 3, but you only lose patience on a tier 1.
So, I mean,
And if we
you
get a tier
know,
1, we can re-roll it with a hero token.
Exactly.
okay, I kind of do want to test for benevolence
Yeah.
then.
If you're not sure, the safest bet is to like try to find a mechanical way to just get that information guaranteed.
Yeah, which in this case would be making an argument and rolling, right? Is that what we're talking
Mhm.
about?
Or uncovering the motivation.
Right.
That wouldn't affect patience, not an argument. Argument can directly affect patience.
Oh,
And
so
be even
okay,
worse
that's
if
a
you find a
separate.
pitfall.
Great. I would like to try to uncover the motivation. That sounds cool and fun and nice and good.
Okay. In that case, then, this would probably be either a reason or intuition test. And
Radical.
if you have anything that you think would apply skill-wise, that might allow you to, read a person or just generally be aware, kind of like looking into something, that would potentially apply.
You know what can I say? I'm very alert to the emotional motivations of others.
I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, right. Hell yeah, you will. Where the fuck is it? Here we go. Okay. And it's okay to roll a reason?
Yes.
Yay! Of course it is.
We're a very reasonable bunch.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, that's a 0. Okay. 0 is
That's a
good.
tier
0's
3.
not good. 0's
That's a
good,
tier
not bad.
3 right there.
All right. Do you wish to know a motivation or a pitfall?
Uh, for motivation.
Okay. In that case, then you kind of, as you were talking with them, you were trying to pick up a bit more about what they're actually going for, and then the way that they talk, they talk as if fighting the shadow elves is the right thing to do. Like they are almost like they are enacting justice preemptively.
Not gonna lie, I half expected you to say revelry. You're
Just
all
doing it for
fucking
the
wrong.
fuck of it, really.
Love
Yes,
of the
it is a
game, baby.
It is a justice motivation. I will also give for free that the way that they talk,
Aha, so my
benevolence is not a pitfall of theirs. They made it very clear that it's not something that they disagree with, but in this moment, like with this interaction, they 100% believe that what they are doing is right.
yeah. Okay, cool. I was kind of leaning more toward justice anyway. Brad. Well, look at that information that we now have.
Wow.
Ain't
we
ain't
can make
that
an
neat,
argument.
folks? Wow.
You should make an argument.
We
Yeah,
should make an
yeah.
argument.
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right,
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, we should make an argument.
wonderful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
Wait,
honestly,
hold
I
on,
think that
guys. Have
argument
you
would be good.
considered?
Yeah.
making an
No, I
argument?
haven't.
Yeah, we should consider making an argument.
Holy fucking shit. Just blew
Holy-
this whole thing wide open.
We're not getting to the fight.
Holy fucking shitball. We never were.
This isn't the fight?
Wow.
I'm fighting for my life over here. Okay. Yes, making an argument. Okay, argument targeting justice.
Honestly, I think a lot of the things that you were saying in that conversation could probably just be reiterated as an argument.
That's perfectly fine.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, But the argument needs to be like in favor of it being just to work out a solution with the Shadow Elves, yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Great.
basically, like, whatever their belief is, if you're trying to appeal to justice as a motivation, you need to. You basically are trying to tell them what you think is right is actually wrong. This is the correct path, kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Well, as I had said before, as members of certain schools of thought, eyes darting side to side, you should well know that it is injustice to deny others that which they need most in order to survive. That especially which you have plenty of. It may require more back and forth, more compromise than would be necessarily comfortable. But in the end, all we have is one another. And when one needs, it is up to those who have to give.
Go ahead
That
and
is
make.
just. Yes, yes, indeed, yes. Go on, yes.
That would again be either. That would more than likely be reason again.
Hell yeah.
Though. Couple things here. One, I don't think that alertness would apply, but if you have a different skill, I think that that's fine. Also, they do recognize you, and because of your renown, you are going to be considered famous to them. This works in your favor. What this effectively
And a plus 2.
means,
Yeah.
basically, this will give you a +2 if you try to either flirt, lead, or persuade. Even if you don't have those skills, you can still say that you are applying that skill, and you'll get a +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
would be.
useful.
I'm absolutely persuading. Can I stack a skill that I do have on top of that as well?
No, it's only.
Unfortunately, yeah, it's only if you
That's
use those appropriate skills.
right, right, right. Well, that's fine then. Yeah, I can just say that I'm persuading, I suppose. I don't have that as a skill, but as we established,
That's
there are
fine. You just
certain
add an edge.
workarounds for this. Yes. Okay. Just an edge of one.
Yep, just one edge.
Okay. And there we go. Boy, howdy.
All right. That's a tier 2, and you already know that that is a motivation of theirs. So, their patience will go down by 1, but that's okay because their interest has gone up to 5.
Yay!
As far as the Wood Elves are concerned, they are all in. And the Druid says, "You're right. You're right. We have been short-sighted in our approach. We thought that trying to cut them off early, or they could gain any foothold, would be better for the Woad and the realm at large. But it is truly an injustice for us to deny anyone what they need to survive. And we have gone too far in not just denying them their necessities, but actively trying to push them away. looks over at the Shadow Elf. Says, on behalf of my people, I apologize for what we have done. I am willing forward.
Yeah.
Are you?
We got half of it. Hmm.
Living on a prayer.
Hmm.
Thank you. You know, I wanted to be a bard when I was small.
What stopped you?
My abilities, mostly.
You could always practice to be a better singer.
Yeah, you know, and fuck you. If I'm not good at something immediately, I stop.
Hmm. So you
Turns
were
out I'm
immediately good at killing people. So you continue.
so good, yes. Killed a twin in the womb, even. Little known fact. Hee hee hoo hoo. Wanted from birth, baby. That's why I'm famous now. Apparently.
I don't think that's something you should brag about. But hey, who am I to speak about this shit?
Not a wood
Well-
elf, I tell you that much for sure. Not a graduate of the College of Black Ash.
Well, as was stated by
Fucked up
Oriamis,
shit.
you are halfway there. As I had also stated before, the Shadow Elves are the ones that are going to be.
All right.
If anything's
So
gonna fall apart, this is the moment where it can fall apart.
They
Because
would
you've
do
used
this,
both
you
of their
fucking pricks.
motivations, and because of this, they only have one patient, 4 interest, and you can't appeal to any of their motivations. So whatever you say, you better make it count and make sure it's not a pitfall.
we can feel out a motivation, uncover it to make sure it's not a pitfall, and then argue towards it.
Are you towards the opposite? Like
Or
reveal a pitfall and then be like, okay. So we
Or we
know.
can, well, we can see if something is like this. Could be something that we could argue, and we can roll it. Make sure. It's only a good if we get it 100%.
Plus, we risk potentially ruining their patience with that.
Oh, it's okay. We just use a hero token.
2.
2 hero tokens.
I want to save the hero tokens for the actual argument, because if we can just dodge their pitfalls, then we can like do our level best to force a tier 3 on that one.
So so they have 2 pitfalls. Don't think so. Greed is probably going to be a pitfall.
Well, let's look at their motivations first.
It's
like
peace.
Peace and protection.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably not into power.
No. They're not here for revelry.
Unlikely.
Very unlikely.
It's also kind of a non sequitur, so it.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't think we should argue for it, but I don't think it's a pitfall either.
Just crossing out things off the list.
Yeah, probably not vengeance. Vengeance might actually. Well, they were in a feud. I don't think higher authority would be a good one. I'm thinking the safest bets are either discovery or freedom.
Yeah, they don't want to, be worried about where they're laying their head at.
Can you hold on? I'm gonna look up the negotiation rules because you might be able to just make an argument without appealing to one of these. You might not have to actually try to appeal to a motivation if you're willing to take the more difficult test.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I think you have to appeal to a motivation. Because it's like part of a negotiation is always running the risk of hitting a pitfall.
Yep.
In that case, I say we do. I mean, the one that makes the most sense to actually do that won't be. Pitfall would probably be something like freedom. We could do benevolence. That could be an interesting one. I highly doubt that
I mean, do they
benevolence is
really
a
want to
pitfall of
share
theirs.
what they have? They're just trying to, have some of their own.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean material goods. It could mean knowledge.
Hello?
Oh, what? The fuck?
Did y'all fucking hear that?
Yeah. What the
Okay,
fuck
good.
kind of hyena bullshit was that?
Someone.
Disturbed the ancestors within me.
Was something just that funny?
Oh, there it is again.
Wait, what?
I'm saying you laugh like a hyena.
Thank you, I know. We're not helping our case, Ripples.
No, we're not. Speaking of cases, do you wish to make your final argument? Potentially final.
Potentially final.
No, yeah, I'm actually gonna say it. It's definitely your final argument. It's just a matter of whether or not it's
Yeah.
successful.
This has to be our final argument.
Has to be the final argument.
Yep, and we can't appeal to a motivation that's already been appealed to, because then their patience just decreases. So it
Yep.
has to be a different one. Alright. I say we go with...
Ooh, strong start.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say a thing.
No.
Okay.
Say.
Allow the director to interpret the argument.
Oh joy.
I'm afraid.
I'm willing to be overruled if there are better options.
I mean, the only person here that hasn't made an argument at all is
Let's
Rise.
not talk about that.
You could put all of this on Celis's shoulders.
Celis, what
no,
say
he
you?
wouldn't. No, he wouldn't.
Celis.
Man, I'm too cynical for this goody two shoes shit. All right. Can't think of a positive way to engage on this. I'm gonna create 17 pitfalls with a single conversation.
You're going to discover a third pitfall.
Alright.
Whatever you say is a new pitfall.
Oh yeah, whatever they said, the opposite of that. Yeah, that's what I want.
Alright, I'm going to
Nuh-uh.
turn to the Shadow Elves.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, well, it seems the Woad Elves have agreed to stop giving you so much trouble around here. And you know, if you take them up on it, Orden in its natural state is a beautiful world. You stand to learn quite a bit. You could have a real home here. A place to call your own. And then we're gonna hope that that shit wasn't a fucking pitfall.
Make your roll.
Alright. I want to use empathize for this one.
Right?
Come on, baby. Oh, you fucker. Oh, you shitter.
Oh,
So-
God damn it.
So close.
God damn it.
Are you using hero
Alright.
tokens?
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm just gonna fail this at the last hurdle. Yes, I'm using hero tokens. Oh my
All
god.
Alright.
No, I'm just gonna let it
I'll
happen.
mark those down.
Wait,
There
why
you
is it
go.
2 hero tokens for this one?
I thought it was 2
He said it
for
was
a
2.
reroll.
No, it's 1 hero token to reroll a test.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was 2.
Gizmo over here with the
That's
big
for
information.
recoveries. Okay, okay, we got this. We got this. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Come on. Oh!
Oh,
That's a crit!
That's a
That's a
crit.
motherfucking crit!
Ooh,
Alright.
That's a pretty good.
well, crit. Default test rules at 17 plus or more.
That'll do, and that'll do.
Their patience goes to 0. And their interest up to 5.
Yeah.
You did not hit a pitfall.
Oh, thank God.
They,
I get a gold mediator box to open in a safe room later.
they has they think for seemingly forever before they say we accept. We, our people on both sides, seem ready to end this feud. You all
I
have
dare
put
say we'll
yourselves
remember
on
this
the-
day for years to come as a day that peace prevailed.
Indeed. We will give our people the good news that finally we can have a home and live in peace. Been so long. Thankfully, the fighting was not for nothing. I do not know what would have become of our people if you hadn't stepped in.
More shed blood. But luckily, due to the negotiations, less blood had to be shed between you.
Indeed. At this moment, a smell crosses all of you. The smell of smoke, burning thatch. And you also realize the noise from the village has gotten louder. And it is at that moment that a scream pierces through the noise.
We may want to quickly go to the village to see what is the ruckus.
The elves say, you like the wood elf points to their companion that they brought with them and says, go return to the others. Just, I will be right behind you. I wish to see what's going on. And the shadow elf says, we will do the same. Return to our people, tell them of the good news. Hopefully, everything's alright. I will join you. and they follow you back towards the village. Now, I want to set the scene a little bit. Tell you what it is that's been going on while you have been doing this negotiation. The room is dark. The only thing lighting up the home is the sun shining through their windows. Loud banging and cackling coming from the docks as screams muffled within nearby buildings. And it's not long before the scratching and cackling reaches their door. And with a bang, the door cracks. Another crash against the door cracks it more before the third finally caves it in. What they see before them is an abyssal beast, skin half off, exposing corrupted muscle. And the hyena-like creature rushes in and grabs them as they scream bloody murder as they're being dragged by their hair out of their home into the middle of the town. And you all arrive right as that screaming is cut short with a single slice, cutting the head clean off.
That's one way to get the head of
scene
the issue.
That you find the village during this time has been beset upon by gnolls, hyena-like creatures from the abyss. And it's clear that they have been at work. The smell that you have been receiving has been coming from the burning building. You still hear, now more clearly among the chaos, the cries for help as the ones that have not been removed from their homes seek heroes.
The longer we stand here, the more people will die. We must go now to save what we can.
And that is where we are going to end the session. I don't want to jump into the combat for like 10 minutes after I explain how it works.
Yeah,
Just a
we
very
could get
brief...
it done in 20 minutes.
Yeah, maybe.
We did
Um,
the last one that fast.
True. I will say, though, a very brief overview so that you all can start thinking about how you might approach this. You are going to start from the north as you were outside of the village and you're just rushing back in. There are markers on the buildings which look like a screaming individual. those are areas, or those are homes where you are able to discern there is somebody inside in need of help. Your goal is to get at least half of them, that being 4, out. There are 7 in total. If you are able to get more than 4, there will be additional rewards, of course. But your goal is simply to get them out of there, not to kill. If you wish kill, there is a secondary objective that will get you additional rewards. The dead center of this is the Gnoll Carnage. They are a leader, and as such, they are going to be a lot harder to kill. But if you manage to actually kill the leader, just properly take them out, then that will also that will be an extra objective. How you do this is somewhat simple. You simply need to go to their homes. You can see where steps are marking the entrance. Go to their front door, and with a maneuver, you can call them, follow you. And you can call them to follow you, just like any other escorting that you've done. And just like before, they will follow you so long as they are capable of doing so. So if you teleport, they can't follow you through that, unless otherwise specified. And if you wish to pass them off, you can do that as well, simply by using a maneuver to command them to follow you instead, as long as you are adjacent. So I am giving you one extra maneuver that you can do. As a free maneuver, you can tell them to run, and they will run their full speed, which is 5, to the closest exit, regardless of what is in their way. And
Would
this
they
is a free
provoke
maneuver.
attack of opportunity if
Yes, it
they were
would.
to do that?
Yes. So
Okay.
if this would cause them, if they are adjacent to a gnoll, or if this would cause them to enter adjacency and then leave adjacency during their movement, an attack of opportunity will be made against them. So do use this carefully. They will follow the straightest line. They will not avoid danger. They are going to just take the shortest path that they can to an exit, which are all marked currently, I do believe. If they're not, then I do apologize, but they should be 2
I
on
see
the
the blue
left, 2 on the
zones.
right, and 1 to the north, which it's unlikely that you'll use the one directly north, but it is always an option.
What if we get them to the boats?
You know, I will allow it, but that
They have to get to the boats.
yeah, they have to get to the boats. So I'm actually going to mark on here. Ah, shit.
So small.
And it's not snap. I'll adjust that.
We'll deal with that later.
Yeah, I'll deal with that later. Yeah, know that like if you can, if it's possible, they can go to the end of docks. So like right
I'm not sure how
here
useful this
or
will
right
be for
here.
anybody, but worth a thought.
I mean, if they're trying to block you off, then it could be. Yeah. The only other thing that I feel is necessary to state, just in case, is currently there are no knolls that are directly in front of a building that have a person that needs to be saved. The only exception being like the guys that are on top of the building, but they're 2 squares up, so they won't provoke attacks of opportunity. As such, you can freely go to these buildings, but also understand that if you just let it go and just start fighting them, you don't get to the houses, they will. And they are not afraid to pull them out as well and kill them if I have to. So, act accordingly. Do you have any questions?
I don't right now.
Alright. In that case then, I will be taking a picture of this map and posting it in the chat for you all to look over if you want to measure anything out. I do expect this to be a fight that is going to be a bit more of a scramble, one that will have you guys running a lot more than actually fighting, but that's okay. We'll see how this all goes.
Did you talk about our friends here?
You will all be getting, you guys will be getting an additional 2 retainers to play around with for this combat. So, if you do not currently have a retainer, that being Shiver and Celis, one will be given to you. It's just a matter of which one you want.
To you.
I know which ones I would prefer that you all take, as they do actually fit you a bit more specifically. For example, the Shadow Elf is a lot more based around stealth and gets benefits from being stealthy. As such, they may be a much better fit for Shiver in the way that they play. But the Woad Elf, Druid, is a caster, and one that likes to fight at range, which may work pretty well with Celis, so long as they are okay with having another ranged individual nearby. They also work pretty decently with some movement and CC, so it may be beneficial. You of course can decide against that. If you wish to have a caster to play around with, you can make an argument of that, and you don't have to decide now. But for this combat, they will be controlled by you two.
You know what, Shiver, the stealth character? Maybe I want to have this stealth, the stealth one for myself. That sounds like the logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rise is like notoriously stealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, that
definitely.
tracks.
When I think of Ryzadar, I think of stealth.
Yeah, she has mentioned on multiple occasions that she loves stealth.
Absolutely. My favorite type of video game genre.
Yeah,
Oh,
that makes
is that
complete
why
and
your
total
favorite
sense,
game of
actually.
all time is Sekiro? Because you love stealthing around in that game? Oh, it's so much fun.
We're not doing this. We're not having this conversation. I have 1,001 reasons why I want to shit on that game. I will be quiet about it. Anyway, yeah, I'll take the caster.
Alright. Well, in that case then, that is where I will leave you all. I know that it was just a negotiation, but it was one that clearly a lot of thought was put into by everybody here, and thankfully Rise did recognize as soon as they started thinking about it that maybe they should stay out of it.
I'm just gonna make this worse if I talk. Maybe I shouldn't.
Correct. I know when to keep my mouth shut.
I'm surprised. Most of the time you don't.
The words I
That's
can't
alright.
say cannot be streamed. So all I will say is, yeah, you're right.
That's okay though, Rise. You'll get your moments to shine here in this next combat. I look forward to seeing you launch Akron across the entire fucking battlefield and save like 12 people at once, despite the fact that there's only 7.
Save people. All right, I'm not supposed
that
to
is
just
the
dash for the
objective.
boss. Yeah, you're right. I'm not supposed to just dash for the boss in the middle of like 17 enemies.
Although,
Silly me.
honestly, like having some folks in the center kind of keeping the gnolls distracted and leading the fight away from the civilians might make it easier for some others to be able to actually rescue them a little bit easier.
Look, all I'm saying is I can get really angry now. And maybe
Couldn't get
maybe
in.
I don't want nice people to be around me.
I mean, you can also split it. You can have Celis working on getting people out while Akron goes ham in the center. That's the
Yeah.
benefit of the beast heart.
I mean, that's kind of my intention.
I think we got this, guys. I don't
We got this.
I don't see any problem whatsoever.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
It's okay. I'll go punch a log just for you.
It's a knock, not punch. It's not the same.
I'll go whack
Punch
a
on
tree.
wood, punch on wood.
Punch a bunch of punch. Yeah, baby.
Alright. That said, if you're still here, thank you for being here, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
So long, fuckers.
Damn.
Huh?
So long, fuckers. Auf Wiedersehen, go fuck
Goodbye.
What do they mean by this?
What could it mean?